So now we're just kind of waiting for them to drop the tornado warning. The storm has slowly fallen apart. We are getting this information from Grant, and Grant Dade is recovering at home tonight, but he is keeping an eye on the weather. And we're going to have some heavy rains in these areas. This storm and then the storm that is trailing it coming out of Greenville. This area around Puxico, a little bit north of Bloomfield, you're going to see perhaps a couple of inches of rain in the next couple of hours. Let's go ahead and track that storm once again as it heads over toward the interstate. That will be one of the areas that people will want to keep track of as they head south tonight or north as we go on. So we're going to go ahead and track basically this storm. Whoops, and we're going to bring it out this way, and we've got about 18 miles, so 10 miles an hour is pretty slow. It's going to take it a while to get there if it doesn't speed up or if it doesn't die down. So we'll keep an eye on that. Let people, your friends, know what's going on as we kind of keep track. And just because we do have this tornado warning, we're staying on the air through nightly news, and we'll continue to track this storm as it moves just to the north of Bloomfield. It's getting ready to go over Highway 25. And it's going to be Bell City. You're pretty much next in line as the storm comes through. So you're going to see some dark clouds directly to your west. So we have that going, and then we have Blodgett, between a little bit north of Blodgett is where it's going to hit on the interstate at the current time if it continues to track in that area, although it could kind of drop down just a little bit south as it kind of builds to the south. So I'll tell you what you can do now is just kind of run back over some of the storm that we've got. Just remind people, even though that we have not had any damage reported, doesn't mean that it is it doesn't mean that it's safe to go outside. You need to be prepared at all times for any inclement weather whenever there is a warning issued as they're looking at the storm.
Exactly. And it, like you said, going outside with these storms, you're going to see strong winds, especially as they start to make their way into your area. You're going to see strong storms or strong winds, and then heavy rain showers followed, even the possibility of hail. So just to be on the safe side, take shelter, try to get into your safe space, make sure that you are taking the precautions that are necessary, because right now we are seeing that tornado watch as it continues. But this probably isn't going to be the first storm that we'll be tracking throughout tonight, as we'll see towards the west. You can even see over there towards Springfield, those storms that are developing as they continue towards our western counties for tonight. So we'll make sure that we're going to be watching this very closely for tonight, and especially as we head into tomorrow. But on the plus side, after most of these storms make their way out of our area, we will see drier conditions as we head into tomorrow night. But, right now our main focus are the possibility of these severe storms, and even the tornado watch that has been issued and is going to stay in effect till 6 for tonight. That thunderstorm warning did get canceled. It is away, so you're even seeing, you can see that pink is almost starting to decrease as well. So you're kind of seeing those storms decreasing just a bit, even the lack of rotation. But as it continues through within the next couple hours, you are going to see it's moving east towards Blodgett and the Highway 55 over there. So make sure that if you have any family members that are, or anybody, loved ones, anybody that's coming home from work or is out and about, make sure that they are aware of what's going on and what's happening as these storms continue. Let's take a closer look again. They were moving up to 10 miles per hour, so the storm is moving quite slowly right now, but still within the next hour we can see this system moving towards the east, hitting quite a few places. next 30, just a little bit over 30 minutes, hitting through Blodgett, and then 40 minutes, 23 miles heading towards the east. You can see a couple of places that are going to be affected or in that 604. So you got a couple of minutes, about 14 minutes, even Blodgett 615 as the storm continues.
So we've got this warning in effect for another 9 minutes, and it looks like the storm has weakened significantly. So we don't necessarily expect them to continue the warning, but we do expect the thunderstorm to continue with heavy rains, heavy wind. There has been hail reported with this storm, anywhere from the possibility exists of ping pong sized hail, but we do have reports of quarter sized hail that has fallen with this storm as it has moved through the area. So we're continuing to keep a track on where it's headed, just to keep you informed, because it is a tornado warned storm from the National Weather Service, and so we are keeping an eye on that.
Even we're hoping that that this tornado warning gets dropped, as that severe thunderstorming has been dropped. But like Roger said, it's still going to stay consistent with heavy rain, shower, gusty winds, even the chance of hail. But once this first system makes its way out of the heartland, now do remember that we are going to continue to see rain showers. We're seeing this second one that is just west of Puxico as it continues through. So, that storm obviously was in a severe thunderstorm warning earlier, but it has weakened, but it's still staying consistent with the possibility of a big impact throughout the heartland. So, but the main concern right now is that tornado watch towards, as it moves east of within the next probably 8 to 7 minutes of that warning anyways being in effect. But like we've said, that the storm system looks like it has been weakening as it continues through. So, but just to be on the safe side, always take precautions. Make sure you're taking shelter with the chance of strong winds, heavy rain showers, even like Roger said, the chance of, I know it's reported or predicted up to ping pong sized hail, so can do damage.
But dime-sized hail is a very good possibility with the storm, and it has been done. All right, we have got a report by a train spotter from rotation at Highways M and BB Highway in Stoddard County, and that has just come in. So they are looking at some rotation that has just come in. Now, I'm not sure how old that is. Grant is not seeing so much rotation at the current time. If you want to go back to our rotation map, we can kind of take a look at how much we're seeing with the storm. So we'll see if we are seeing a great deal. Not a whole lot. What you're looking for is really dark reds and really dark greens when we look at this, because that says the wind's going in a couple of different directions. What we're seeing is more of a gradual progression from one direction to the other. So I'm not seeing anything that is too concerning in here. Or you would be looking for a cold jet inlet to kind of come around and wrap around in one of those classic fishhook style tornado echoes. But we are not seeing that at the current time. This is more of a gradual transition. And we can go back over to what we're seeing in the reflectivity, and that shows us where the storm is currently, where the heavy rain is falling. And let's one more time take a look at how much lightning is with the storm, because I think there is a lot of lightning. And we'll pull out just a little bit.
Oh boy.
You can see it's not the only storm that has lightning in the area. If you want to just pull out just a little bit more, Megan, we'll kind of show that the storm south of Dexter, over near Piedmont, even the one in Graves County and in Callaway County in Kentucky, they're seeing lightning in there as well. You're also seeing a thunderstorm just a little bit to the east of Sykeston. So there is quite a bit of lightning you're going to see in the air this evening, and we should expect thunderstorms to continue for the next couple of hours as we go on. We've got about another 5 minutes with this tornado warning. So then we will be starting the 6 o'clock news once the storm, and Jeff Cunningham will be here, and Megan will be on the air with weather. So we will be updating that. And then as we continue on, Megan will be here through the night, kind of watching these storms to let you know if anything else becomes severe. The severe warning that this tornado warning was possibly around did expire at the top, or at 5:45. So we've gone for almost 10 minutes without the severe thunderstorm warning around that storm, but it still has the tornado warning designation. We still have, and I believe we are getting ready to expire the tornado warning, and I believe it's going to go away in just a second from the National Weather Service. So we're going to wait until our computer updates just for a second, or they're going to just wait till it goes to the top of the hour, but I think it's going to head and expire. So I think what we can do now, Megan, if you're ready to toss it back to network, we are out of severe weather coverage completely. There are no severe thunderstorm warnings. This tornado warning is getting ready to be expired by the National Weather Service. So I'll let you go ahead and toss it back to network.
Yes, so like Roger said, we're getting ready to start the 6 o'clock show, so Jeff will be joining us, and then we'll keep you updated over the next couple of hours, especially through the night as storms continue to progress, and with that possibility. But right now, things are looking everything's behaving, like Grant likes to say. Storms are behaving right now, so if anything changes or updates or advances, we'll let you know.
This year, to simply suppress the vote, make it more difficult for people to vote. No justification, no factual basis. We're just going to make it harder for people to vote. And African Americans are targeted by it. Young voters are targeted by it. In some cases, voters of indigenous ancestry or Latino ancestry or disabled Americans are targeted by this pernicious effort to make it harder for people to vote. And then you've got this new campaign of censorship. Under the guise of a parents' rights campaign, books are being censored. We've not seen this in America in generations. And then curriculum around the teaching of African American history being suppressed, being attacked, being, if you will, ended. This requires a strong response from all Americans across the board because of what it means for American democracy. So we thought we needed to really highlight these numbers, the rise in hate crimes, the qualitative moves that this entire pernicious movement is making to impact the way we live, and I think to try to undermine American democracy. Why do I say that? The vast majority of Americans do not support voter suppression. They do not support censorship of books and attacks on African American history. They do not support. Yet, you still have politicians who act as though it is the most important agenda item and persist in pushing these totalitarian, if you will, initiatives.
So you're tying what's happening in legislatures across the country directly to increases in hate crimes. Is that a fair assessment to draw?
Coming up, Kentuckians head to the polls tomorrow with one of the races having a big impact on the gubernatorial race in the fall.
A new early detection program is giving hope to people at high risk for pancreatic cancer. I'm Bradley Blackburn with more on how it could help save lives.
Stopping the shopping of judges to get a favorable ruling in federal court. I'll have more on one senator's effort to ban plaintiffs from having the option.
Heartland News is sponsored by Southeast Health. Heartland News at 6 starts now.
Good evening, everyone. While the Heartland is seeing some higher temperatures today, it's been a bumpy afternoon for us in the weather department. Let's go to Megan now. She's going to wrap everything up for you in your first alert at 6.
Yeah, so as you were continuing with us, we were on air for quite a while watching these tornado watches as they popped up throughout the heartland, especially with these storms as they continue through. And look at that, right at 6 o'clock, it has been canceled. So all of the storms right now are behaving, but you still see that possibility as we head into tonight with those rain showers and especially the storms increasing, especially during the early morning hours and overnight for tomorrow. You can see around midnight and 1 o'clock that rain impact peaking pretty high, but slowly decreasing for tomorrow morning. So seeing a high rain impact for tomorrow with the possibility of some showers and thunderstorms continuing to develop and even increase, but we'll see some dry conditions by Wednesday and Thursday, but rain showers coming back into play for Friday as well. Now for tomorrow, with these rain showers coming in, we're going to see a cold front make its way in after these storms exit. Temperatures only making their way into the low 70s for most places. So right now, temperatures sitting in the mid to upper 70s to low 80s. You can see 82 in Sykeston, 75 in Carbondale, and 80 in Paducah. So the next couple of hours, as these storms continue through, you can see temperatures cooling down into the low 70s. Once again, everything is behaving right now, but we can expect to see an increase later this evening. We'll take a look at your full forecast coming up.
New at 6, a felony conviction from nearly 20 years ago could prevent a man from serving as an elected official in Butler County. Prosecuting attorney Casey Proctor filed a petition to remove Raymond Stewart Jr. from the Fisk City Council. Stewart won the election back in April, but Proctor says Stewart was found guilty of a federal felony back in 2004, and that disqualifies him from even seeking office. A judge is giving Stewart 10 days to respond to the court filing. Also new tonight, a Sykeston man is sentenced to 20 years in prison for his role in a 2020 shooting in Cape Girardeau. A judge sentenced 26-year-old Myron Andrews today. Prosecutors say more than 200 people were inside the River Banquet Hall on South Spring Street when Andrews opened fire. 5 people were injured, including a victim who was shot 13 times. They say Andrew got caught up in a crowd of people trying to leave the building and dropped the gun at the foot of a Cape Girardeau police officer. Search continues for this man, 25-year-old Lucas Thompson, following a police standoff over the weekend in Williamson County. It happened in Makanda on Sunday. Thompson is now on the run after investigators say he attacked his mother. Police also say he is wanted on a previous warrant out of Jackson County, Illinois. The Williamson County Sheriff's Office is asking for your help. Any information on his whereabouts, you're urged to call the number on your screen. In a little over 12 hours, voters in Kentucky will be headed to the polls in the Bluegrass State for the primary election, one of the biggest races on the ballot, of course, deciding who will go up against Governor Beshear in the fall. Julia Sandor has more.
The main focus for election night is the Republican primary.
This has been an interesting race for the Republican nomination for governor. 12 candidates, you've had probably 5 or 6 who have run aggressively, and you've had a couple of perceived front runners, according to the polling.
Our very own Bill Bryant takes a look at the race, analyzing the debates and polling. One of the front runners in the governor's race is Daniel Cameron, who says he's hopeful he'll come out on top.
Cautiously optimistic. Obviously, you never know until all the votes are cast, and we feel confident though in our opportunity to win this thing and ultimately face Mr. Beshear in the fall.
That's one thing that many of the Republican candidates have in common. They believe Andy Beshear will be their Democratic competitor.
For putting the effort in that you need to have if you're going to beat Andy Beshear this fall. So we're proud to embrace that we are the grassroots, people's first, old-fashioned, driving my big red truck to the people and spreading a positive message across our Commonwealth.
Ryan Quarles is another candidate doing well in the polls, along with Kelly Craft, who brought out Senator Ted Cruz to her rally on Saturday night.